screened-in porch, and a 500 square foot deck. I'm losing my mind.
What do we believe?
I hope she works out those.
How are you?
Better?
Better, good. Okay, good.
He's still standing, no cane.
It's kind of roller coaster.
Okay, all right, the clock on the wall tells me it is time to get this show started. Okay, all right, hang on. Record. Okay, I would like to call this planning board, the planning board meeting. To begin, we have one item today on the agenda, but the first order of business before us, give the board a few minutes to review the meeting minutes from our last meeting, which are on June 19th. If everything is good, a motion to accept, move those into the official meeting minutes, and then we can move on to the first order of business, so.
I'm good, I already read it.
Yes, me too. So I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from June 19th.
I'll second it as written.
All in favor?
Okay?
Aye. Okay. All right, first order of business before the board this evening, we have DePrima Properties LLC, owner at 77 East Main, otherwise known as the filling station. Applicant seeks to change prior approved site plan by adding an 822 square foot patio to a grassy area between the building and sidewalk and the front entrance at the property 77 East Main Street. So,
Good evening.
announce yourself, give us your name, and tell us what you want to do.
Good evening. I'm Stephen Carini of Carini Engineering Designs. We produced the plans for Sam and for the filling station. Wanted to add one paper that we prepared that shows an altered photograph to give you an idea of what area we can get the pavement and have the fence around it.
Thank you.
So this table as well.
Sure.
What computer can you use?
You'd think it was already built, wouldn't you?
I'm telling you, that's pretty good.
Don't go down the road, you know.
Photoshop is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, yeah, the younger generation who knows how to do it is a wonderful thing too. I'm surprised at what she did. So, the proposal is to add this fenced-in area where we want to hold the fence back approximately 3 feet from the sidewalk so that as the sidewalk is plowed, there's room for the snow to go. That's primarily the reason for doing that. The fence we're proposing is a black iron fence. It goes around, so the building, on the far side of this picture, there's some space then between the building and the parking lot. The fence would continue around that direction as well with a few tables and chairs on that side of the building. So in this type of a business and in our market, this outdoor seating has become like prime real estate. It draws people to your place of business. I think, a great example nearby is the pub just north of here. That was it pub what 200 something?
Pub 235?
Pub 235 draws a crowd and many of the patrons at this location, the filling station, keep asking, when are you going to have some outdoor seating for us? On an evening like this, we all would rather be outside, right? So that's, from a business perspective, that's kind of the pressure and kind of the reason for being here tonight is just to be competitive in the marketplace. The filling station is is a successful business. They're really not going anywhere. The location is working out well, but it's a matter of adding to the number of people that you can serve and satisfy and keep your patrons happy and well served. So the owner of the property, Sam is here. The owner of the business, Wendy is here, and we're available to answer any of your questions.
Well, where do you get in and out of the area here?
Well, there are gates provided, and it's also possible, that to some extent, how much of the fence absolutely needs to be installed is somewhat up to the liquor board, and if the fence towards the building is not required, the owner would rather not install that fence. But even if it does get installed, there will be gates along that back sidewalk, so towards the building, not towards the street. The gates are shown on the site plan, which I can point out if you want me to. They are not, there's nothing really to depict them on the edited photo, but there are a couple places that say gate. I think you'll see.
Okay,
You got
I
it.
did miss
Yeah,
that.
yes. All right. And I think actually there are two here also. Yeah.
You initially said that the gate is dependent upon the liquor authority?
If the liquor authority does not require the rear portion of that fence, the owner would rather not put that part of the fence
Oh,
in.
any of the rear fence, adjacent to the
Correct.
building?
Right, any of that
Okay.
fence closer to the building, yes.
And you don't know what liquor?
I don't know, because I have to get approval from you, and then I have to send everything on to the liquor authority with your approval letter and the drawings and everything. And then if we don't hear from them in 20 days, we're allowed to start the project. And I don't know, the guy I talked to on the phone, he didn't know what the requirements were, what height of the fence. So until they give me a determination, we're kind of just going.
Conceptualized.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
Because if you look at all the different buildings around that have decks, every single one is different because they all come off a different entranceway.
Mhm.
So that's what we'll have to wait on determination from them.
And I see you included all the lighting, additional lighting on the building and stuff.
Correct, right, we want the existing lighting, I feel should stay because it's more of a wall washed kind of lighting. And at nighttime, right now, if you were to go by after dark tonight, you would just see, the light kind of going up and down the wall, and it doesn't really light further out. So the new gooseneck type lamps that match what's already on the high facade of the building, those two are actually there. The other ones that we put in are proposed, and they would have a little bit more of an outlight to light the dining area.
And I noticed in this conceptual drawing, you didn't address the sign, but
Well, I believe we're taking the sign off the proposal.
Yeah, we're taking it out for now. We figured
Okay.
that.
because I was gonna say, you probably have to go through a little
Yes.
process for
Yeah.
changing.
Right, you're.
For now, the sign.
The sign is gone, we
The sign
actually
is-
have
You
another
just
sign
want
that
the
we've come up with,
decking
and
and everything, yeah, I got it.
SLS Lighting and us, we will be coming forward with that new idea.
Right. All right, and this is just, not even an aesthetic thing, but the original fence is a solid top. This was a
That's-
picket fence. I know this is just concept, but just from probably a liability perspective,
We
you
won't
don't
have-
want all those points
No, it's the
around.
one you have in your
Yes.
left, your right hand, yes, that's the
So, but obviously the concept is
Right.
solid, so.
Don,
Anything
do
else?
you have any knowledge of liquor license?
I don't
Patio
know-
fencing?
I don't know what I
Required?
don't know what the requirements are if you have outdoor seating, if it's gotta be fenced or not.
They certainly want some kind of a barrier. We've had instances where the fence will end and then they'll require, say, some planters to be put in place, something so that there's an obvious boundary and border between the general public and people who are being served alcohol.
Right, alcohol service. So how many tables do you hope to fit in here?
We've
Is
shown,
on the
I
show?
believe it's 10 tables seating 4 each. Is that, I mean, I don't know this. Seating, but yeah, so on the larger scale piece of that page, right under the word street, says proposed new outdoor dining for 40 people. So we've shown 10 tables and 4 people each.
So, I didn't see, Don, I didn't see anything in here which talks about fencing or anything, so I guess the only issues that would be concerning would be, emergency egress, but if there is no rear fence, then it's just basically, the street fence is a divider, it's,
Right, I do
that's a moot point.
I do show the gates swinging out in the direction of travel. And
Right,
it-
but-
if the fence does get installed there and it does have gates, the gates will have panic bars
Mhm.
and open in the direction of travel.
Right, I'm just saying, depending on configuration, if they said you need exit at each end because you don't want traffic in a
Right.
corner or something,
Mhm.
even though it's outdoors. Anything else? Any other questions?
I don't have anything to quarrel about.
All right, so, at this time, I will open it up to the public, and if there is any public comment,
Richard Walder, 20 Elm Street. I had several questions. First of all, the letter I received said nothing about seating down the side. It said the seating would be in the front of the building, adjacent to the front door. The problem we see with seating down the side is it affronts to my backyard. This, unlike other properties we've talked about here in the village that were mentioned, they're all in totally commercial neighborhoods. This backs to residential. I do want to compliment you on your much better neighbor than the fast food that was there. I find a lot less trash in my yard coming from that we had when there was a fast food there. However, I'm concerned now when I sit out in my backyard in the evenings, I hear your customers coming and going, and some use their very loud outdoor voice. It gets loud at times in the back just with the coming and going. And when you're wrap seating around the side of the building, you're now forming an echo chamber between your building and the two-story building next door, which funnels into my yard and the other backyards in the neighborhood. So I'm wondering, is there something that can be done to eliminate the seating that's actually on the side of the building, not in the front, as the letter we all received stated? Or some kind of sound barriers you can put up at the back or something, because
Have you seen what it looks like? Do you know what we're talking about?
I saw the prints, I did not, just got a glance at the
Because
picture.
it
but
doesn't
that
go
one
down
shows
to
the front.
15 feet.
Yeah, the front, it's just right here.
Well, the tables and the seating, it does come around the side of the building.
Right, 2 of the tables go further
Yeah.
back than the front of the building.
The building ends here.
What I would like to see is some kind of a sound barrier or something, because I'm right here. And putting people between, so I hear the people in your parking lot all the time. People who've been out for the evening, get loud. That's the nature of being out for the evening. And I wondered if there's at least something here. To suit me, you could eliminate everything there, but I know that probably wouldn't give you enough seating. But if you could put something, some kind of a sound barrier, some bushes or something at the very back edge. I talked to Will about
Something
this
like
the
that
other
would be
day.
okay, flowers, if you want to do it then.
Well,
No, we-
looking more of a 6 foot
we're talking tall landscape.
that would stop sound from traveling down this space between the building and our backyard. Because like I say, I can hear all your customers. Not all of them, but there are some that, when they get out for the night, they're loud. Some-
If this were a higher, more of a solid fence,
That will echo,
foreseeable,
that will echo, sir,
Hold on,
because
hold on.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
I'm just gonna comment, because when we had,
Stand up, state your name, tell us.
my name's Ann Byers, I live at 36, I butt right up to you guys. I have no problem with the front, I don't know why you're so 3 feet back from the edge of the sidewalk, because there are other businesses right on top of the sidewalk, to give you more seating. That'd be really up to them and to the, but I don't see, because they work that with other, coaches, they have to work around them, so. But I kind of agree on the same thing, I mean, and you're gonna be lighting that area, there's a light that we don't know, I guess somebody had already spoken to you on pole.
It has nothing to do with us, it has to do with,
But the gas, Rochester Gas and Electric says it's not theirs either. It's not ours and not theirs, so who knows, because it's, but McDonald's put up, it's like, not McDonald's, Burger King. They put up like a sound barrier, and because they were having people problems, and it was almost worse. It was like a solid, anything solid wood, so it's like the building, it'll just bounce, it'll be like a bouncing thing. So if we're going to put something, you're going to have to do something soft, and you're going to have to do it tall too, otherwise, because our properties go up, and sound goes up. Because if I'm up, if I'm on the second floor, I can hear what's happening on the street almost better than if I'm on the first floor, and when the window's open. So you're going to have to get something tall. I have no problems with anything else. We've been good neighbors and no problems, just the wraparound I'm concerned about.
okay.
Darrell Byers, 36 Elm Street. My question that I have here is this sidewalk, which you are fencing off so that there is a fence around this narrow table to table to table, is that in fact necessary? If you were coming out that door to the street and went down the street and then to the parking lot, eliminated that fence so that it went to the building and you could then put your tables in front rather than on the side. Is that an option that you have?
Yeah, that fence would be there in the picture anyway, the back piece.
The back piece of the fence, that's not going to be there.
Okay, so they'll have more space there. Okay, question.
There's the possibility that those 3 tables that you talk about going around the side could in fact fit in that area.
You still need the sidewalk to get into
The
the.
sidewalk
He's
has to be
saying you would
handicap
end up with a
accessible,
public
Yeah.
sidewalk.
still.
No, you put this one here, put the table right on the door, but you can't, be able to walk in.
Can you get into the back? Burger King is that.
Yep, there's a back entrance, yep.
Is that handicap accessible?
Yes, the handicap accessible
Could
wall,
you
there's 2
use
sides.
that as or do you need 2 handicap accessible?
I won't,
I mean, if we did, that would resolve that too.
Yeah.
Okay, any other public comment?
So just in response to them, we can, certainly, the neighbors seem to be asking for something relatively high, and I think that that's somewhat detrimental to the, just visually, as you drive into this parking lot, I think something too high is not visually the right thing to do, and I think we can deaden the sound with something not in the neighborhood of 6 feet, but some, either physical planter that the plants are in, or arborvitae that would be somewhere in the range of 5 feet high would be acceptable as a buffer of that area.
I think you need something more than 5 feet high.
Okay. Thank you. Now, back to the board for any further discussion.
We didn't finish the last discussion. If 5 feet might be too high, or 6 feet might be too high, is that maybe 7 or 8 is out of the question? We didn't finish the paragraph.
I don't know what the code would allow. I know fences are restricted to 6 foot high, but landscaping, things tend to grow. Or you can buy taller things.
Fences are not totally restricted to 6 foot high. They were required, when they went in there, they put up an 8-foot fence behind the property to deaden the sound and help the neighbors. But
Was that
that
a
was,
variance?
that was done by one of the boards on planning or zoning put that in.
Okay. All right, so, any,
Other than that, no.
okay. Just so you guys understand here, the planning board doesn't approve. We're gonna make a positive or negative recommendation to the zoning board, you know, that the concept is viable to go forward.
No, you're the approval board. They're not seeking a variance for anything.
Oh, we
This
are?
is
I'm
an amendment
I'm
to
so
their
used to
site
just
plan.
shoveling everything over
This
the
is an
zoning.
amendment to the approved site plan, which is the planning board's
Even better.
purview.
That's why I have you here. Keeping me straight. Okay, I guess we are the approval then, huh? That's
Yeah.
good. And are there any seeker issues with this?
Well, it's a,
Unlisted.
it's a type
Type
2
two.
action. In my opinion, there's, under number 9, it's construction or expansion of a primary or accessory non-residential structure or facility involving less than 4,000 square feet of gross floor area. It's 800 and some odd square feet of floor area. So it would be a type 2 action.
Can I just say something? Since what was sent out, as Mr. Walter said, it was just between the sidewalk and the front of the building. It did not say anything about around the side. I almost didn't come tonight, because I thought, oh, there's no problem with that, you know? Because the building looks nice and their work, but that was what was sent out.
Well, legally speaking, there's not even a requirement that letters go to neighbors. The only legal requirement is publication in the official newspaper of the Village of Webster.
Well, then that probably was the same description, right?
I don't know what the
Grassy
legal-
area between building and sidewalk and the front entrance.
Well, that doesn't mean they're limited to that. Anybody was free to come into the village hall and ask for a copy of the application.
Actually, the written description is one thing, but the site plan as presented is the document that they are asking us for approval on to amend the site plan. So, I mean, semantically speaking, I don't get too hung up with the description. I'm more concerned with the actual physical drawings that we get to work with. The description in the paper is to get the public here to actually provide their comments, especially the residents. So, at least it accomplished that. So, we have, if there was no other comment, everybody? Okay,
As long as it's noted that there's a potential for noise leakage.
well,
That's all I care about, just the potential.
we have the opportunity, I believe, before us to say we would like an amended site plan with some sound deadening landscaping provided, indicated. Show us.
And I
What
guess
if-
along
what if-
with
what if they
do-
planted, what if they planted taller things right along the back by the fence?
Because when you're in the backyards or you look over that fence, so you're looking at people, and you can
Well,
almost
I
see
thought
their
sound was
feet.
the problem, not sight, visual.
What was the problem? I called McDonald's, Burger King on a rare thing, especially depending on who was working the thing, you know, and I say, turn it down, they, And as Mr. Walters said, certain people's voices are like piercing. They're not even talking, they just pierce right through the air. And lighting will be, because they're gonna be lighting up already, unless we wanna take that one down off the pole somehow, since they don't say it's theirs, and the village doesn't say it's theirs, and Rochester Gas Electric says it's not theirs. We have a lighting up, that will help part of the lighting issue back there, because it's like daylight plus it's buzzing right now.
Well, somebody has to pay them.
Right, pay the electricity on that, what the heck?
Did anybody ever
Well, we
consider?
investigated, yeah. Because that was already complained about, and that was investigated. Mr. Swinley looked into it, and he said, it's not theirs. And Rochester Gas says, well, it's not theirs. And I said, well, who's paying for it? And you complained it's not yours,
Well,
so
we're paying for it. We've talked to RG, we've tried to.
get it off.
Yeah,
paying- so you're paying for it.
We can't turn it off. RGE has to turn it off.
Of course they don't want to turn it
They
off.
know they don't want to turn it off because we're paying for it. That's,
Yes, okay, so you're
See?
paying for it, all
Yes.
right. So you have spoken to them.
yes. We,
I don't think we can do about it.
Yeah, maybe that is.
And that's not,
Wait,
that's
oops, sorry.
not what we're here for.
Burger can put it in.
Okay. So, all right, so we have a proposal, or we have a concept in front of the board, and we can make a proposal to accept the plan as presented, accept the plan with a modification to the site plan, approve with condition.
I don't.
Okay.
Yes, I'm okay too. My only question is, what is the liquor?
You need to speak
My
up
only
if-
question is,
we are the minutes here.
about the liquor license and changes that they might request. How will Will find that out? Does Will
You'll be-
approve something like this? I mean, they'll check in on the progression of this.
Will doesn't actually get to prove that.
Okay.
They have to fill out an application to the
application,
village.
you will be on that application, so anything we get, you will get.
Oh, okay. And so if that alters this plan then?
If it alters the plan would just be if the gates had to be in place or not. That's the only question we have.
Okay. Sounds good.
Rick is trying to talk.
All right, Rick, I'm giving you one last shot.
I just wanted to ask our attorney, what is the village, do we have, or are we under the town, do we have a noise ordinance in the village?
As far as noise,
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
there is
there's,
something about like
I'm
11
not
o'clock
sure there's a
at
noise,
night.
I don't think there's a noise ordinance.
Do we come under the town noise ordinance because we don't have one that goes to their authority, or, and what, do you have any idea what they have?
There is a noise ordinance within the town, I can't recite it for you right
It's at 10 o'clock.
You don't have any, okay.
now. It's a certain decibel level, and, the town code enforcement officer has a meter that reads it, and if you got a complaint, they'll come over, and he'll, with his little gauge, and if it's over the level, they'll go address it. If it's under the level, there's not a violation. But I couldn't tell you what decibel levels are.
Okay.
You can look it up in the town
I think
code.
the village has one.
and I think that delves really into the area of enforcement, which is really way outside of our purview.
Right.
So, the issue before us is an approval as is, or an approval with amendment, or conditions, as far as I see. So would anyone, any member of the board care to make a recommendation one way or the other, or?
I make a recommendation to approve this site plan. I don't know if we need the addition of the noise problem, if that can be addressed through a noise ordinance and that sort of thing. We're here to look at the site plan.
Right.
Can I,
We can make a site plan recommendation, or a site plan recommendation with condition that some
Somebody, okay.
some means of soundproofing be included. I don't know if we can dictate what that is though.
Right.
We could certainly recommend you consider soft landscaping to mitigate sound, especially coming around the building. And if you're agreeable to that, I see a lot of shaking heads up and down.
Okay.
I didn't think I'd get violent disagreements. Always a good thing. So if you want to include that in the
Yes.
motion?
Yeah, you could make that a condition of the approval. And I don't know if you want to, and you don't need, you could table this if you wanted to and have them submit what their proposed sound mitigation is, and then, of course, you only meet once a month, and the summer's going to be fast ending, but that's a problem, I know. But
Right.
So do you have to wait the 20 days before you start anything, the
Yeah,
concrete,
so
all
soon as-
that?
Yep,
Mm.
oh, yeah.
Right,
At least it's only 20 days.
right, so they can't even go forward
Right.
until we say conceptually go forward. Because then the next step is the liquor authority.
Mhm.
Okay. So, this is our chance. We can mandate a soft sound barrier, or we can say the site plan is okay as it is.
Well, I started off with saying the site plan is okay as is, but
Mhm.
yes, let's mandate some sort of sound barrier with planted use or something. So do we want them to come back with that to us or not?
That's satisfactory as stated.
Yep.
But it's not like we should grow it to 5 feet and then go measure.
I don't mean to laugh, but yes, it's gonna grow, the trees are gonna grow.
Sure.
Bushes are there.
Okay. That,
But it might help mitigate some of the sound.
Joe, did you capture the motion appropriately?
Yes, but don't forget, we have to
So-
do seeker.
Sorry?
Oh,
Don't forget, we have to do
But-
seeker.
You do the secret.
Oh,
it's a motion to approve conditioned upon the installation of some undefined soft sound barrier. Like, how are they supposed to know what they're
Right,
supposed to
right.
put in and whether
That's
that's
too
acceptable to
That's the
this
point,
board?
too, yes.
Right, that is vague. That's-
So, is it gonna be some soft barrier that, to a height of some minimum of, or maximum of some feet, or you gotta put some definition in here of what your soft sound barrier is. Otherwise, nobody's gonna know whether they
Right, I
complied
agree.
with it or not.
okay, so
That was my problem.
why don't we say a soft sound barrier to a installed height at 5 feet? So that can be a planter with arborvitae in it, or arborvitae straight up, or some other type of fast-growing, thickening bushes, trees. Because I'm obviously not a landscape engineer, I can't determine what would be the best,
We'll definitely figure it out.
most appropriate. But I think in order to at least be a good neighbor,
Absolutely.
better?
Much better.
Okay,
Okay. All right,
So the
you
motion-
have all
But-
that captured in the
is made
motion?
then?
yes.
All
So,
right,
Motion's made.
Mhm.
motion is made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Oh, and the next
Secret.
motion is secret, yep, sorry. So this is a type 2,
the motion is simply that you designated or acknowledge that it's a type 2 action, and by definition, that does not require any further environmental review.
right. So, what Don said.
What put down, so I will, that's my motion.
All right, second,
It is.
all in favor? Aye. Here we go. Okay,
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
All right,
All right.
that concludes any business in front of the board this evening.
Yep, that's what it's all about.
Little give and take, and,
Okay, I therefore,
we're gonna show the plans and water.
do I hear a motion to
We're trying to.
close the meeting?
I will make that motion.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Okay,
I know we're by, we're by
this
line
meeting is adjourned.
right.
Thank you, everybody. And
Thank you.